Histology for 3rd semester Faculty of Medicine. Histology. 1. Introduction to Histology. A definition of histology. Histology is the study of tissue structures at the microscopic level. Tissues consist of groups of cells with similar structure and function. B. Histological techniques. 1. Light microscopy, used to examine tissues that have been processed and stained. This microscope allows us to see macroscopic structures and some details at the cellular level. 2. Electron microscopy uses electrons to provide detailed views of cellular and subcellular structures, for example, transmission electron microscopy to see internal details of cells. 3. Histological staining. Staining techniques are used to highlight tissue structures and components. The hematoxylin eosin H&E stain is most commonly used to differentiate between the cell nucleus, blue, and cytoplasm, pink. 2. Types of tissues in the body. Histology studies the 4 main types of tissues in the human body. A. Epithelial tissue. 1. Definition. Epithelial tissue forms layers on the surface of the body, lines body cavities, and forms glands. 2. Functions. Protection, secretion, absorption, and excretion. 3. Types of epithelial tissue. Squamous epithelium. Flattened cells found on the skin and blood vessels. Cuboidal epithelium. Cube-shaped cells found in glands. Columnar epithelium. Tall cells found in the digestive and respiratory tracts. Pseudostratified columnar epithelium. Found in the upper respiratory tract and certain excretory ducts. B. Connective tissue. 1. Definition. Tissue that supports and connects various structures in the body. 2. Functions. Provides structure, elasticity, and stores energy, for example, in fat. 3. Types of connective tissue. Loose connective tissue supports organs and structures, and provides space for blood vessels and nerves. Dense connective tissue contains abundant collagen fibers found in tendons and ligaments. Cartilage. Hyaline cartilage provides flexible support in body structures like the nose, ears, and joints. Bone tissue forms the skeleton, provides structural support, and protects vital organs. Blood tissue transports oxygen, nutrients, and waste throughout the body. C. Muscle tissue. 1. Definition. Tissue that contracts to generate movement. 2. Functions. Movement of the body and organ function, for example, the heart and digestive tract. 3. Types of muscle tissue. Smooth muscle. Involuntary muscle found in the walls of internal organs, such as the intestines and blood vessels. Cardiac muscle. The muscle of the heart, working involuntarily. Skeletal muscle. voluntary muscle connected to the bones, responsible for movement in limbs and other body parts. D. Nervous tissue. 1. Definition: tissue that transmits electrical impulses to coordinate body functions. 2. Functions: carries signals to and from the brain and spinal cord. 3. Main components: neurons, nerve cells that transmit electrical impulses. Neuroglia, support cells that provide nutrition, physical support, and protection for neurons. 3. Tissue structure in organs, in Semester 3. Histology also focuses on tissue structure in specific organs, such as a skin. 1. Skin layers. Epidermis, the outermost layer of skin composed of stratified squamous epithelium. Responsible for protection. Dermis, the layer beneath the epidermis containing blood vessels, nerves, glands, and hair follicles. Subcutaneous tissue, the deepest layer of skin containing fat and connective tissue that supports the skin and insulates the body. B. Lungs. 1. Alveoli structure, air sacs in the lungs where gas exchange occurs. 2. Columnar epithelium in the respiratory tract and squamous epithelium in alveoli for gas diffusion. C. Liver. 1. Hepatocytes, liver cells involved in metabolism, storage, and detoxification. 52. Sinusoids, small blood vessels that deliver blood to hepatocytes for metabolic processing. D. Kidneys. 1. Nephron, the functional unit of the kidney consisting of the glomerulus, where blood filtration occurs, and proximal and distal tubules, where reabsorption and secretion take place. 2. Glomerulus, a network of capillaries involved in blood filtration. 3. Renal tubules, processes such as water and electrolyte reabsorption to maintain fluid balance in the body. 4. Advanced microscopic techniques. A. Light microscopy, used to study processed and stained tissue structures. Hematoxylin eosin, H&E, staining is the most common method for differentiating components like the cell nucleus and cytoplasm. B. Electron microscopy, transmission electron microscopy, TEM. Allows for visualization of internal cellular structures at very high resolution. Scanning electron microscopy, SEM, provides detailed images of the surface of cells and tissues. C. Immunohistochemistry, a technique that uses antibodies to detect and identify specific proteins or antigens in tissues. D. Histochemistry, a technique used to detect chemical compounds in tissues, such as carbohydrates or lipids. 5. Tissue changes in disease. A metaplasia, a change in cell type in response to chronic irritation or stress, for example. Smokers may experience metaplasia in their respiratory tract. B. Dysplasia. Abnormal changes in size, shape, and organization of cells, often a precursor to cancer, for example, in cervical cancer. C. Necrosis. The death of cells or tissues due to injury or oxygen deprivation. D. Cancer and tumors. Neoplasia. The formation of abnormal cells, which can be either benign or malignant, cancer. 6. Clinical applications of histology. A disease diagnosis. Histology is used for disease diagnosis through tissue examination, such as biopsy to detect cancer. B. Use in transplantation. Tissue examination is used to ensure compatibility between organ donors and recipients to avoid rejection. C. Tissue research. Helps understand disease pathogenesis and develop new medical therapies through histological research. 7. Role of histology in medicine, a medical education. Histology helps medical students understand the body's structure and how tissues function in health and disease. B. Medical practice. Understanding histology helps doctors relate clinical symptoms to cellular and tissue level changes in the body.